Hey there, folks. This is Brian Talley with episode number 3 of Tuesdays with Talley. Now, when we started this podcast, there was one goal and one mission in mind. And let me go over that with you now. The mission and the goal of this podcast is to bring an engaging conversation that will add value to the lives of everyday people. Folks, this isn't about getting Jay-Z on this program, folks. This is about putting everyday, average, hardworking Americans on this program to tell their stories, to add value, not only to your life, but to the life of others. And today I am honored to be sitting here with not only a friend of mine, but a fellow brother in arms from the United States Marine Corps, Mr. Chris McCart. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Hey, man, the pleasure is all mine. It is all mine. Now, look, guys, got to tell you a little bit about Chris here as as an icebreaker. This guy is Philly, Jersey, right? These guys, they talk a certain way, they walk a certain way, they boo Santa Claus. This is Philly guy, okay? Philly guy. Jersey guy. These guys are tough guys, right? Well, you got Chris, who thought he was 18 years old again and a Marine, and he goes out to the Jersey Shore, folks, and he's on a wave runner, and he ends up breaking his ankle. So now he's hobbling around, broken ankle. There it is. And what does this guy do? He's got every Tom, Dick, and Harry at his house right now doing chores that he has surrendered to do himself for the last 10 years. Painting the fence. He's got dudes pressure washing his house. I think he's got a guy coming over to hang up Christmas lights tomorrow. This guy has totally taken advantage of this in a very sophisticated way, man. Look, I commend you on that broken ankle, and I'm glad that you're getting some things done, Chris. But man, I gotta remember that one, man. I gotta take that one out of the playbook the next time I need some things done around the house, man. So, how are you doing?
It's a bit of a barter system. People need to borrow some things, power washers, paint brushes, whatever. I mean, you can take them. We just got to put them around my place first and make sure they're working up to speed. But yeah, getting little things done around here as much as I can. Almost done. The cast is coming off on Wednesday. So she'll be back in the water on Thursday.
You are the man. You are the man. Look, this is a very, very special program, indeed. And today we're going to be talking about your brother who also served in the United States Marine Corps, Staff Sergeant Matthew McCart. And actually, we are going to be dedicating this episode to your little brother, to a guy who looked up to you, to a guy who followed in your footsteps. And the reason why I believe that this episode is going to be so important, because we're going to get vulnerable. We are going to get real. We are going to get raw. We are going to save lives. We are going to get into the heads of people that may be going through some hard times, and we are going to perhaps lay out a blueprint, on how to avoid, getting into a crisis and taking things too far and ultimately take your own life. Folks, I'm very sorry and sad to report that it's been 10 years now since Chris, his brother, left us due to veteran suicide in the wounds of war. I've got some notes here that I'd like to read before we get really started. for folks of you that don't know Chris McCart is a former Marine. He is 45 years old, and he is a crane operator in Jersey. Okay. Again, he's a former Marine. His brother followed in his footsteps, joined the Marine Corps. And then, his brother got out, and, he was doing pretty well. I believe he served in Afghanistan in 2007. And then would ultimately end up taking his life in 2012 due to the VA overprescribing him with a lot of meds. These veterans come home, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, whatever it may be, alcohol abuse, and a lot of the times the VA will just throw pills your way as a cure-all, if you will, and pretty much try to put a Band-Aid on the issues instead of digging deep and peeling that onion back and really get to the root cause of the problems of what are causing veterans to take their own lives. 22 a day, folks. That is nearly 1 per hour in this country. And it's not right. I mean, it's unsat what is going on. So Chris, again, I want to welcome you to the show. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to call this a Saturday night special because it is not Tuesday, but this is very important to get out. We've got a lot to talk about. I want you to tell your brother's story, and then I want to see how we can help you guys on your 10th annual golf tournament in the name of Staff Sergeant Matthew McCart. So, Chris, the floor is yours.
Hey, thanks, Bri. First of all, like I said, thanks for having me, man. You're awesome. We served together, not in the same unit, but during the same years. You were a friend of a friend, and I actually talked to you more than I talked to him, and he lives down the street from me. But we still are all brothers nonetheless. My brother also looked up to Wayne Putney just the same. Him and I went in the Marine Corps together, and separate paths once we went in, but we were in the boot camp together. One funny story after the other. Yeah, man, and I've been following you since you've been going through your tribulations, and God, you keep coming out on top one after the next, and you're an inspiration to me, and a lot of people should really pay attention to what you're offering here because, you're doing it. Nothing keeps you down, and that's motivating. That's what people need. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, you got it. And as far as my brother, man, is like I said, I'm surprised to get me on here with you like this. It's pretty funny and ironic. Speaking of Wayne, his son is my godson. We went to the Phillies game last week, and he's getting ready. He's on a baseball scholarship, basically. He's a junior this year coming up. Anyway, he's a protege of baseball. So talking about not baseball, I said, what are you going to do if college, when you're done college, if you don't make it to MLB or, AAA, AA, whatever. And, he said, maybe kick around doing a podcast. I know some people. And then I see you the next day starting your own podcast. But it was just funny, man. One thing's
incredible.
You look at things, they're right there in front of you.
I got to say, that kid is not going to be starting a podcast. That kid's going to be batting third or fourth here very soon for a Major League Baseball team. I've been following this kid since he was in elementary school. Yeah. And this kid is a winner. He's got a great family. He's got a great foundation, smart. He has got it. He has got it. I'm proud of him and, how far he's come. And like I said, I'm a cheerleader. I'm a big fan of Putney, and man, he is definitely going to be going places. So that's very good that you are the godfather. You'll be able to get some good seats, I'm sure.
I hope. But it was just funny to hear him say the podcast because he's in some jiu-jitsu guys that are doing it, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, some people laugh when you're 45-year-old man hanging out with 21, 22-year-old kids with me. I'm like, hey, here comes round two. I'm able to do it again. This kid's living the dreams. Good looking kid at the top of his game. I don't even feel like I'm that much older than him now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to, be there to give that, that fatherly, figure, to give him the, you got to teach him how to be a man still.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things that, these children will look sometimes to other places, and not always, just mom and dad, for somebody to look up to and for somebody to mentor. And you're a great guy for that. I mean, you're strong, you're tough. You have got all those attributes there that would definitely help steer a young man in a good direction. So that's very, very good.
Yeah. His family runs a good support cast. He's got a good crew in his corner, but
oh yeah, yeah. And you're a great corner man, so
I'm trying.
No, you're great, man. Trust me. I know who you are and I know what you're about, and and you're honorable. For 10 years now, you've been a big part of Mission 22, and an advocate for veteran suicide. When your brother went overseas and sacrificed himself, his body, everything, put everything on the line for this country, to only come back to fight his demons. Are we doing everything in this country, Chris, to help our veterans when they get home from war?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say no. I don't want to put the pin on the VA or anybody else. I mean, guys are going to have their own demons and they're going to expose them how they can. And all we can really do on a personal level and a friendly level, on a family member level, is be there for him. And it sucked because I lost that. He was in my ear going through it, fighting his demons, crying, talking about he's going to do it. And, I talked to him and listened to him until he blew in the face, until I was blue in the face. And I said, look, man, I don't know what else to tell you at this point. I got to go to work in like a couple of hours. Just hang on. And my job's sporadic. You're working a lot of overtime, and then you're off in between jobs for a few weeks to a month or more. So I said, we're going to have some downtime. When I get done this job, I'll hang out. We'll be hanging out, doing whatever, me and you. And, I guess that I extend as a person, as a normal person going, dealing with a family member like that, you can only do so much. But on the flip side, I've had a couple of friends that are in those same positions that I've met through the golf outing. They would just hit me up in the middle of the night or talk to me. And sometimes they don't even want to talk to you, but they just, as a veteran, as a Marine, as whatever, even though, I was a peacetime Marine and I didn't go over to do any wartime. It doesn't matter. They know that you can still get it. And I think that might be one of my attributes, is that I'm pretty down to earth when it comes to all aspects of people. And, anyway, what I was getting at is, a few friends that I've made, they were down and out just like my brother was. And they've come back really recently and told me that me and the golf outing is really, they respect me and appreciate what we're doing, and really brought it to, gave them relief just to get that stress off their shoulders at one point. And it may be ongoing. Maybe, there's in a bad mood today and they're feeling depressed. And I mean, that goes from everybody too, especially where the world is right now, not just veterans, but unfortunately 22 veterans a day is the average. And that's pretty sad, pretty disgusting, really. I mean, we've got to do something. We got to.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the answers.
I think one of the major things is that, unfortunately, me being in the veteran advocacy world for the last 6 years because of what happened to me in the VA, I get to meet a lot of folks that don't always get the best care. And unfortunately, I have met the parents of veterans who have taken their own lives in VA hospitals. Because they've been kicked out of programs, because they couldn't see that person when they were in crisis mode, and ultimately they were kicked back out on the streets and said, to come back, or we're full, we can't take you. So Um, there is a lot of work that we need to do in this country. And like you said, too, this isn't just a veteran problem. This is a problem that's going on with everybody, especially in 2022, coming out of COVID. We've got political strife everywhere. The world is burning, and everybody's just trying to figure out what's going on, what way is up, what way is down. But guess what? We're still living. We still got jobs to do. We still got bills to pay. We still have children to raise, and life goes on. And so that is why we're having this conversation today. We're talking about veteran suicide, and we are really just going to talk like an open book, if you will, and we're going to try to put it out there, and we're going to tell a story, a little story about Staff Sergeant Matthew McCart. Chris, tell me a little bit about your brother, man. I mean, he seemed like a freaking awesome guy. Totally.
He was awesome. I mean, he was just the man. Everybody loved him. He was the light of every party. Everybody loved him, and he'd get your back. He was loyal, more loyal than a Rottweiler. If he were his friend, he'd bail you out in a second. But it was dating back when we were kids. We were, rough parents, divorced, and grew up 3 brothers and a single mom. Had a rough life that way. I mean, it wasn't terrible. She did a great job for us. But, he was a little wild. I was wild. And unfortunately, I don't know if I set a bad example that way, but he was wild. And but I went in the Marine Corps right out of high school. He waited a few years, did a little college, community college and stuff. And then he ended up going in when he was about 21. So he was like an old head in boot camp, But I guess about 2005, he went into the Marine Corps, and I was, well, even before that, talk about a rough life. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if his demons himself came just from Marine Corps and veteran or military life. But I spoke to one of his friends who is now a captain in the Marine Corps down there in Lejeune, and we'll go on our way to one of these golf eggs. I'm sorry, keep me on track. I tend to
You're good.
Venture out. But I had said to him, Jake, his buddy, little honor tribute to my brother on the hats. But I said to Jake, I was like, he was never. I know he did stuff over there, patrols and everything, which he volunteered to go over there too, which I told him not to do. So he goes over there, and just like Jake had told me, now captain Makeover in Lejeune. But anyway, he was like, dude, it was just like you're going to the chow hall and you hear the sirens going and you hear explosions all around you, and that fight or flight really rattles the brain, So that's what a regular person. My brother, like I said, he had a rough upcoming. He in high school, he was diagnosed with brain tumors, and one was on his optic nerve, so he couldn't even see. So when he went to go in the Marine Corps, my mom was distraught. I don't want to go. Just that and the other thing. It was not long after 9/11. I think he went in 2005, and I was working. I was an apprentice, where I would have been right there with him, like Pat Tillman and his brother, dude. I mean, that's one wish I had back. But I did my time. I told him it wasn't everything that, for me, it wasn't everything I expected to be. It was actually a lot less. But I told him, if you're really going to go to the military, go Air Force or Army. You're offering $50,000 signing bonuses right now, And no, we did the Marines. I could be tough and do the Marines too. I was like, no, it's not that they're tough. They're just treated the worst. And
Philly guys are tough, though. Jersey guys are tough.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But, it wasn't even I used to laugh when we were in the Marine Corps and just say, it's not even that we're tough. We're just treated like redhead stepchildren. We get all the hand-me-downs from all the other branches as far as the equipment.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was in a mechanic shop too, an artillery unit. So everything was always broken. Already ran this through 40 years in other branches of the military, and then we got it. But
totally, man. Yep, that's how it is, man. Everybody else gets the big budgets, and the Marine Corps is left with all the crumbs, man. That's just the way that's the way it works. But hey, we make it work. Yeah. And it's all about the mission, right? And we can get the mission done with very little. That's why so many Marines are successful in today's world, because we adapt, we improvise, and we overcome.
That's right.
And that is how we do it, and that is how we lead. Um, when your brother came home, was he different? What led to, and like I said, we talked a little bit off air before you came on, because I don't want to push, I don't want to pry, but I believe that the only way that we can really help protect other folks out there that may be going through similar instances is to get vulnerable and to peel that onion back a little bit, just to kind of find out what was in his head, what was going on, what were some of the behaviors that your brother was doing up until the point to where he ultimately took his own life in 2012.
All right. Well, so no, he didn't really act any different. He was always fun, light of the party. So when he got out of the Marine Corps, which again, he went to go get in the Marine Corps, and I told you this off air. My mom was worried about him when I was working. So, Mom, he's not going to get in. He's got 2 brain tumors. He can't see out of one eye. He's not going to.
How would he even pass MEPS?
You're on a mission. You want something. Like I told you before, guys say, "Oh, I was a no-win, but I had flat feet." Yeah, my brother almost couldn't get in, but because he got brain tumor and could only see out of one eye, but he found a way.
I almost joined, but
exactly.
Well, I mean, hell, he had a pretty damn good excuse.
I never would have imagined in a million years that he would have been walking.
I almost joined, but I have a freckle. I have a freckle on my face.
And my favorite's when I come across. We all come across too many people who may have authoritative type roles in our lives, and then they tell their little, "I was going to join, but oh, okay." But
those are always awesome. I mean, they are. I just get a hoot out of it.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, it is what it is. So your brother ultimately made it through MEPS. He made it through boot camp. He gets to the desert, and he experiences Afghanistan, as a Marine, and then he comes home. And so what were his behaviors like? What ultimately led to this?
So he had, like I said, I'll get to it, but he's had a lot building up to it. And I think this is all just build up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think a little bit over the course of his life was build up, and then added to the stress of the war background for a few months. Maybe he was over there 8 months, maybe, but he volunteered for it all. It's like I told him not to go to the Marine Corps. He did it. I told him, whatever you do, don't get married when you're in the Marine Corps. He does it. So whatever you do, don't volunteer. Keep your head low. If you chose to get married and have a family, keep your head low. Don't do something silly like volunteer to go overseas or anything like that. He does it. And I hate to be the older brother. Always, said I told you so. But he got married to his high school sweetheart. Whatever. I'm not. I can't cast stones from my glass house. I'm not perfect. I never met a perfect person. But they were both young. She couldn't deal with time apart, I guess, and went on to lie and do her thing and have leave him for someone else while he was in the desert. So. He never really opened up about that either. He just moved on, which we all do that, but maybe I didn't realize how much of an effect it had. And so then he gets out, he comes back. That's what it was. He came back. They got a nice place, as far as being in the military, nice 2-bedroom place down in Lejeune. And, he had known that he didn't know for a fact. He just had his thoughts, because back then, that time was when MySpace was starting to pop off, and I think that's how he caught her on there. It was like he got on the internet out there in the desert and saw her on MySpace down there partying or something. But so they come home, whatever, they get a place on Lejeune, and she ends up leaving him. So then, whatever, he does fine. He gets out of the Marine Corps not long after that. And, the post 9/11 GI Bill is tremendous. So they have done a lot there. My brother's able to go down and party down in Miami. He didn't go to Miami, but his friends they grew up with were pursuing their degrees down in Miami. He lived down there with them in Miami and went to Florida International University. pretty much all covered by the GI Bill. And he was living good down there. He was living a good life. I mean, everybody loved him. I went down there and visited him with my wife, and you know, they opened the doors to us to the VIP lounges, and I don't know, he was just a very loved person. You know, he was always that way, and you know, had friends, and they just opened doors to us to VIP lounges, and just had a good time. And I guess he was doing a lot down there, not partying, but just he was. He earned his degree, and he was living the life of a college student after the Marine Corps, and then ended up getting another girl from back here who was also another pretty girl. He was a phenomenal looking dude too, and you know, I always make jokes that everybody always broke my balls that he was better looking than me, but whatever. And so he gets another girl, and I used to tell him, don't get another 10. Go get yourself, you know, somebody nice. Their looks aren't so important because they end up being a little sketchy. But he goes and gets another beautiful girl, and I don't have anything really. I guess I couldn't not say anything bad about her, but whatever. She could have been a little more. Again, this is outside looking in and after the fact, but she could have been a little more patient towards someone in that situation, because that was when he really, after he came up from college and everything, that was when he was back up here now, which he came up here really because of that girl. And you know, like I said, my family, whole family pretty much has anger issues, and so he had that, and the VA put him on the antidepressants. He wasn't sleeping well, which I remember not really, like, he was a little kid playing Nintendo in the middle of the night and then going, you know, not wanting to go to high school or whatever, as long as I can remember, really. But he had been that way after the Marine Corps, where he wasn't sleeping at all, really, and after really war, probably. So they had him on the Ambien. And then that's where it goes to the next situation, that legal issue that he hit. And I think that was really probably what did him in, because he just had expectations of taking, you know, being rich, being the man. And then and he was pursuing insurance sales and life insurance, was doing very well with it, but you can't have any kind of legal issues when you're back on that. So, yeah, one night he was drinking and partying with his girlfriend, and I actually think he was with my family, and I do. It was. I remember that night. They were inviting me to come over, and I had recently had my daughter. You know, I had a job. I had my daughter. I'm trying to do the right thing, so I'm like, I'm not gonna party tonight. It's already midnight. We'll catch up this weekend or something. I guess he went over and found friends to party with. You know, him and his girl stopped by another party, whatever. Then they went home, and he could always drink, and he could always keep going. Man, I'm a lightweight. He could keep going, and he did, and start feeling sorry for himself or whatever. And I don't want to say it like that, but he used to do that a little bit now and then, and put it on his girl to get the guilt trip or whatever. Like, oh, you don't want to see me or whatever. But I guess he was really serious that time, and I don't know. He ended up that night ate a bunch of the Ambien, and I used to tell him all the time, whatever happened while you were on the Ambien, that's going to get thrown out of court anyway, because that stuff's all over sitcoms and everything. It's a hallucinogen. It's making people hallucinate.
Bad dreams and everything.
Yeah, I mean, literally walking into a store in the middle of the night and going there and no recollection of any of it. So, so that night he was partying, blah, blah, blah. He went home and wanted to continue to party. And I think his girl wanted to call it a night and go to bed. So he ate a bunch of his Ambien, and then was drinking, obviously. And flashbacks or hallucinations, whatever, threw his headlamp on, AR over the shoulder, 9mm in his hand, and he's clearing rooms in his house, you know. His girl went and ran to the car, and he, interpreted her as a Iraqi or insurgent, insurgent, whatever. And he unloaded. He opened fire, a couple rounds, and one hit her car door, literally on the handle. I saw the hole, and it didn't go in the car. It ricocheted, thank God. And, so then he passes out. gets woken up. He's being hogtied by police and taken to the police station and everything. And that was probably the only time I actually thought to myself, damn, this dude's out of his mind. And I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, he could be hard and be, but he's always jovial and he always had like I almost felt like it wasn't him. It wasn't the same kid I knew because like he was himself, but because he had now he's going to prison and he just got hard like in an instant where he was ready to go to war with people in prison, And I was like, oh, relax. And again, with work and everything, going up there to visit him, he got right out obviously after not necessarily bail, but we got a lawyer for him and everything. But he committed himself to like a rehab or a mental type place to just show that he was making an effort and try and correct whatever had just happened to him. That would have helped when he went to court. And then
so just to backtrack a little bit here to get everybody up to speed. So pretty much what had happened was your brother started to experience some girlfriend issues, and to kind of add insult to injury, he was taking a lot of prescription medications that were prescribed by the VA for post-traumatic stress, and alcohol, pills, and anger kind of led him down this psychopath, right? Like he just went down this bad
breakdown.
Yeah. He had a mental breakdown, a crisis, flashback, or whatever it may be, and ended up firing a shot that did not hit anyone. And then he ultimately was now going to jail for that night. And now we're looking at an attorney here, and we're trying to defend him and trying to get him the help he needs to get back to living a successful life, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we were handling that. And I know I've was referred a lawyer who has had a good reputation. My mother and I and father, we split the bill to get him a lawyer. And my brother was getting angry and aggravated because his lawyer was kind of leaving him hanging as far as getting back to him, replying. And I understand. I was telling my little brother, you're being a little much. Just let him do his let him work it out. He's going to be in touch when he needs to. But I was the naive one, and he was actually correct. This dude was pretty much blowing him off. Again, I don't know. I think come to find out, he or his son was having drug issues or something, but at his time he was a very good lawyer and not so much at this instance. And I don't even know where he's at now, if he's back to being a successful lawyer. I think he may be. So it's like he just shit the bed when my brother's life was in his hands basically, but very unprofessional is what it boiled down to, and that had my brother on edge. And so fast forward to all that, that situation with the gun and everything, that was in the summer of 2012. And then
that was the year that just everything broke down.
Yeah, and that was also the year, how I remember it too, was that situation, Sandy Hook. You had that Benghazi stuff going on when they were saying it was over some BS movie that made them all attack Benghazi or whatever, and you had something else right then. But I think Sandy Hook happened a few days before his actual checking out, because I was working up in North Jersey. I remember that being on the news just a couple of days before, and us discussing it, But that's how we over here in New Jersey, we had Hurricane Storm Sandy, which ripped apart the whole Northeast. But I was on a job on the water working that, so that's how I remember it. But yeah, I was working like 2 hours away, and So coming around, fast forward to December that year was when his birthday is December 16th. On the 15th, his new fiance, that girl that he came back to Jersey for, I don't know what it was, something at a Christmas party or something, and she wanted to go with her sister to the work's Christmas party. And it was a work Christmas party, but seemed kind of weird that she didn't want to bring her significant other or whatever. So in his situation, he had been trying to end his life for a few failed attempts leading up to this. And then that night they had an argument, and he was quick to throw it out there and say, well, I'm just going to maybe I'll just kill myself or end it or something. And I don't know, I wasn't there, but I'm assuming that's probably what happened. And she had probably turned to him and said, well, just freaking do it already or something like that, because the ring was off and on the coffee table. I'd imagine they were arguing. She took it off and put it on the table and left. And she went and slept with her sister's house that night. So I was, again, staying in a hotel working up North Jersey, and called my mom in the morning. And I spoke to him that night. And I said, I'll be home tomorrow. Just be cool or whatever. So I remember coffee break, 9 o'clock on our job. And I called my mom. And I was like, oh, have you heard from Matt this morning? And she says, no. I was thinking I should go over there and look for and make sure he's okay. I was like, yeah, you should get over there now. He ain't answered the phone. He answered for you. I've been trying to I've been texting him and trying to call him all morning just to make sure he's cool. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And she goes, his girlfriend meets my mom there, fiance, whatever, meets my mom there to let her in the door. And he's just laid out in the hallway between, half his body in the bathroom and half his body out in the hallway, ate all the prescription pills that he had, and it actually did the job. Like I said, he had a few failed attempts before that, and I was laughing to him, only making light because we joke around a lot, making light of the situation. He told me he tried hanging himself on a tree branch, and the tree branch broke. And I'd say, good, you fat bastard, have another cheeseburger. I can't have you leaving us, you know what I mean? And he was a big musclehead, but yeah. So he actually followed through with it, or did it. The night before, I was talking to him, I was blue in the face. I said, I gotta get up in a couple hours, go to work. I'm almost on this job. Tomorrow's my last day for the week anyway, and we'll hang out. And that was when.
How was his demeanor when you were talking to him that night before you went to bed?
Down, depressed, but understanding, and he always listened to me. That's what everybody, what made me feel, or the guilt that I have in the past, in him, in the repercussions of him doing this. I was always the one that everybody always attributed that was the only one that would get through to him, no matter what situation he was in. So for him to follow through with what he chose after talking to him blue in the face and really getting him to swear to me he wasn't going to do anything, drastic. And then he really did it. It's really just a kick in the gut to me every day. Like, I see his picture, or I talk to him on a regular basis, obviously, and it's just like, man, she would just listen, just one person the one time I couldn't get through to anybody. So to have friends and stuff like that tell me to cough out and we're just getting to know me, and being able to answer a text or a call here and there just to get the demons at bay for them, to cough out. And really, I guess it was actually this year that I realized that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of headaches, and there's a few cooks in the kitchen, but they're all people that cared about my brother and care about this, this dilemma that we have of veterans and people who really go, whatever situation it is, choose to go do this for us, and all voluntary military that we have here.
Yeah.
And, as far as I'm concerned, I got a stepfather who was a Vietnam vet, and he was told by the VA he's got prostate cancer, probably because of Agent Orange when he was in the VA. He gets his treatment, gets his colon cancer at bay. Now they're telling him, oh, okay, it's not here anymore, so you're probably going to have to take that. You're probably going to take that 100% disability from the VA off now. What? He should get 100% for the rest of his freaking life. Shouldn't have to pay taxes for any of this bullshit, especially up here in the Northeast, where taxes on properties up here are from $7,000. Well, it's similar to California, but you're paying $7,000 to $14,000 a year to live in this trash heap. But
it's insane, man. You know, Chris, I mean, I've told you this time and time again. My sincerest condolences to you and your family for, you know, the hardship and, you know, just the tragic moments and these just steps in time, you know, I know have been tremendously difficult for you and your family. And I admire how you keep his memory alive every day, you know, even in your email address, December 16th, 1216. You know, that's great. You and your brother, man, you know, you guys had it going on. You guys, you know, were the prime example of just two awesome guys living the American dream, serving your country, having the looks, having the, you know, the tough guy, you know, language and talk. And I mean, you guys, you know, just got it all, you know, and then it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how it looks on the outside. You know, it all comes down to what's inside and how we're feeling and how that brain is operating and how your heart is reacting to situations and how we can handle crisis times better, you know, in a way that, you know, you can not, you know, end it all. But unfortunately, we have so many folks in this country, especially veterans, that do it anyways. And these guys all know, I mean, how big it is. You know, I mean, everybody knows that we have a big problem in this country with veteran suicide, and it still happens every single day. So these veterans know before they even do it, like, yeah, I already know that this is a big problem, and I'm going to do it anyways. And a lot of the times that they won't even have they won't show any signs of, you know, doing it. There won't be any red flags wave that, hey man, we really need to keep an eye on this guy. A lot of them will just go out silently, and you know, that's scary too.
That's like drug addiction. It's a battle they fight every day. So it might take them 20 years.
Yeah,
you know, you never know. I met somebody the other day. It's 20 years and more than that actually inside to end his own life. So, you know, I don't know if it's. They say the same thing they related to with drug addicts. You're fighting that urge every day. Maybe they're fighting their demons every day, you know, but you never know when it's going to get you.
Yeah, you never know until, well, you will never know. No. It just, you know, some things will just go unchecked. And, you know, unfortunately that, you know, that is one of them. So 10 years ago, your brother's closest childhood friend and you had a golf outing, mainly just to have a fun day out to remember your brother. You've been doing this now for 10 years, and for every single year since then, it's gotten bigger and bigger. And even in the midst of a divided nation where veterans are used as political pawns, it's nice to know that people, proud Americans from both sides of the political spectrum, can come together for an event to celebrate the life of a Marine veteran who lost his battle with his demons, like so many other veterans do in this country. And what you guys have put together is a golf tournament memorial for your brother. And, you know, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. It looks like it's going to be Saturday, October 1st from noon to 9, Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. And I've got some ticket information here. I'll put it all up online here too. Looks like $175 per golfer, $50 per person. That's dinner and an auction. And then you can also sponsor holes if you are a business or if you're just an individual who would like to sponsor holes. Those are $200 per hole. This is an official event of Mission 22, and there is an event tax ID number for this event. I'll put this up right here. And what I'll also do is attach this to the podcast so folks can reach out and they can, one, participate and being an active golf player, or they can donate directly to you to help get this golf outing paid for, and food and everything. You can reach out to Christopher here on his Venmo. It's right there at Christopher-McCart, and any donations that you guys can afford to give will definitely go toward a good cause in helping to protect the lives of veterans, especially those that are contemplating suicide or going through recovery or whatever it may be, to get them back to living a good lifestyle and contributing honorably to society.
And Brian, on that, there's no amount too small or more that's always welcome. But those are just some of the ways to raise the money. Also, we do, like you said, the event would hopefully be paid for. Obviously, since COVID, everybody's trying to recap on that money that they've lost over those few years. But as well as that, we donate any overflow money from the event goes to, and I have a lot of good friends that have donated from managers at Lowe's and Home Depot, things like that, bikes, professional bike riders. So it's a good auction to raise funds. But anyway, the proceeds all get donated to Mission 22. They, like I said, if there's anything that people can do, as much as a regular person can do to help the people that are in need, by lending an ear, answering a text, something so simple. If it's out of our realm of being able to professionalism and really knowing how to do, these people do offer a ton of services for the veterans to reach out. Maybe it's maybe it's meeting another guy like you that just wants to go out and have a fishing expedition or something. They do all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And it's a division of Elder Heart. The thing that made me go with Mission 22, I mean, there's all of them. I really like this. This is the Valhalla project too. Both are real good at, if you research them, very little overhead, very little cost to keep them running, and a very big amount of a percentage of the donations actually go to the veterans and events to help them, instead of one that was really publicized a few years ago was $300,000 salaries to their CEOs and stuff. This, you don't see that at Mission 22.
Yeah, I cannot stand when these veteran groups or so-called veteran groups are literally making this cash, just stockpiling cash, in the name of veteran suicide or whatever it may be. I think that's absolutely disgusting. When I see it, I call it out. That's definitely something that I know that you did a really good job of looking into these two companies here, and that they are honorable organizations out there, because we have just been overwhelmed with so many 501c3s over the years when it comes to this. Unfortunately, people saw a way to profit, like I said, off the backs of veterans and off the backs of veteran suicide. And I think that is wrong. So I'm glad that these companies are out doing the right thing, and like most are. But there are a lot out there too that are doing it for all the wrong reasons and not the right reasons. And that's ultimately to save lives. Before we wrap this up, first, I just want to thank you a lot for sharing your brother's story, and coming home and doing big things, and then kind of just falling into that, into that hole, and not really getting out of that hole. Do you have a positive story that you could share about your brother for a few minutes?
So many. I mean, even after, say, fast forward to today, I mean, a positive story. It was just, I
Or
mean,
just a funny story, it could be a funny story. Could,
he's got we got 200 people that don't even, not everyone has known him come out, and for my family and my mother to come out and really, we hold his Marine Corps picture out there, and I do want to show you this.
Mm-hmm.
But that itself is the golf outing itself is a positive event. It's like a family reunion, friends of friends. We all have good stories to tell about him. Like I say, he was a funny dude. He was a joker. He was a good-looking kid. Girls loved him. I mean, it's all
he had it going on. He had it all. I mean, he had the world in the palm of his hand, and there it is.
That's him. Now hold on. I had to dig this up because they are pretty similar looking here. That's me, a little similar.
Holy smokes, dude! You guys look identical. That is
25 years, dude. 25 years the other day. But
so, what was the age difference between you and Matthew?
8 years, and
really
even more than that. So, if my parents got divorced, my father had another son named Brandon, and I ran into him having beverages at a local watering hole. And I did a double take. I thought it was my brother Matt. I was like, wow, that dude looks just like my brother.
Wow,
that's Dad's other son, Brandon. He must be old enough to drink now. And I go up there and I put my hand on. I was like, "What's up, bro?" And he's like, "Dude." And me and him have become like best buds since, which is great. So he helps out with the golf outing too. His friends are like my family. It's just crazy, And I attribute that all to my brother Matt. A positive story is it just goes on. I mean, my mom's still here after witnessing that, which I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I have a daughter, and I couldn't imagine if I had to witness some of these things that parents had to go through with their kids. So, I mean, I have friends that I could count on that my brother knew. His friends are my friend. Well, I consider them family. I can't think of one specific positive thing other than just kind of like everything. He's not here, but he has a positive influence on everybody on a daily basis still. You
know what? I was gonna, I want to help out, as much as I can and help one, keep his memory alive and two, and help you guys with your golf tournament out there on October 1st in New Jersey. There are two radio guys I know because I've been on their shows a lot, talking about the tally bill and Congress and all this stuff. One is Jeff Katz with WRVA in Richmond, Virginia. He is a huge supporter of the veteran community, and to get a few minutes on his show, I think would be extremely beneficial. And somebody else that does a really good job and actually has an American Veterans show is Stephen Tubbs, and that's AM 710 KNUS in Denver. What I can do is I can reach out to these two guys and see if you can perhaps get on their program to help, get the word out on this special 10th anniversary golf outing in honor of your brother, Staff Sergeant Matthew McCart, and also help get those donations flowing in, so you guys don't have to pay for anything getting this thing set up. And if you have, a surplus at the end of the day, it's all going to go right back into Mission 22 to help save the lives of veterans.
So that's what we were able to do. We were able to make it every year. It's been 5,000 or above, I believe. But last one was 2019. We donated, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say $10,000 to Mission 22. So, and that was our best. Our best was 2019. So, yeah, I'm looking. We had a couple of years off because of COVID, but we're coming up on his 10-year anniversary of his passing, and it'll be the 10-year anniversary of the outing. Well, not specifically after taking a few years off because of COVID and whatnot, but looking to make a nice donation this time and raise as much as we can. Appreciate your help.
Man. Well, no, man, I appreciate you and everything that you've been through. And, like I said, sharing your story. I know it's hard, to talk about, especially when it's somebody you love more than life itself, your brother.
And what it is too. A lot of times I don't like to have the poor me attitude or anything like that, but it's not about me this time around. It's it's for the people that need a little help, somebody to talk to, whatever, fishing trip, whatever. But
there's a lot of folks out there that are hurting.
Yeah.
And I see it every day because I get messages all the time. People think that I'm an arm of the VA now, and I'm like, hey, I'm just a regular guy. I don't have a 501c.
You've been on a show for the last few years.
So it's like, hey, but when they reach out, I email them back.
Yeah.
Give them the help they need. If I can't do it or give them the words that they need to hear, I definitely steer them in the right direction so their voices are heard ultimately, and they do end up getting the help they need and get back to a life of happiness. But I know it's tough out there. Just got to keep swimming. I know at times, it feels like you're going to get taken under. And you're in a rip current, and you're swallowing water, and then you get that breath. You just got to keep swimming. You got to keep going. Just keep moving forward. I know it's a lot of the times it's easier said than done, but it's something that we all got to do because there will be brighter days, and the sun will come out tomorrow. And we're not talking about Annie here. I'm not Daddy Warbucks. Okay. The sun will come out tomorrow. We will have a new day. Like I said, there are brighter days ahead. And one is going to be this golf tournament on October 1st over at the Valley Brook Country Club in Blackwood, New Jersey. Chris, man, this has been a great conversation, and we got to do it again soon. Hopefully you'll come back on before October 1st and we can get, some more veterans and some more veteran supporters involved in this and help get you guys the successful 10th anniversary that this event deserves. So Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for being a guest on my show, episode number 3. We'll see you out there next time, man. Good luck to you.
My man, thank you very much. And I wish you the best of luck with this. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Folks, I want to just finish with this. This is Tuesdays with Tally. So it may be every Tuesday. It may be 6 days at Tally. But the show is called Tuesdays with Tally. And this is Saturday night, and I'm doing this with my good friend Chris right here. But I just want you guys to know one thing, and that one thing is the mission and the goal of this podcast is to bring an engaging conversation that will add value to the lives of everyday people. So if we discuss something and, you're like, if you could take one thing away, just one thing away, or perhaps, because all of our programs aren't going to be on veteran suicide. We're going to be talking about motivation, inspiration, dedication, determination, drive, what it takes to be successful, what happens when you fall down, and how to get back up. These are life tools, folks, that we are going to be talking about here with folks just like Chris, who's a crane operator from New Jersey, former Marine, badass. These are the folks that are going to be coming on my program. And I want you to know that every single time that you're going to tune in here, you're going to get real, you're going to get raw, and you're going to get transparency, you're going to get truth, and it's all going to be positive. So anyways, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Episode 3, and we will catch you on episode 4, guys. Have a great day. Semper Fi, and God bless.
Semper Fi, brother.